My beloved child, do not pass by these words as though they are only another sound in the noise of your day. Do not treat this moment as random, small, or easily forgotten. I have allowed these words to reach you because there is a place within your heart waiting to hear my voice again. You did not arrive here by accident. You were not drawn here by chance. You were not led to this message for empty comfort. My beloved child, these words were written for you. I know the mourning you carried before you heard them. I know the thoughts that moved through your mind when no one else could see them. I know the weight you have learned to hide behind polite smiles, quiet strength, and the answer you give when people ask how you are doing. You say you are fine, but I see deeper. You keep moving, but I know when your soul feels tired. You keep showing up, but I know when hope feels thin. You keep praying, but I know when your heart wonders whether I have heard you. My beloved child, I have heard you. Not one whisper has been lost. Not one tear has fallen outside my sight. Not one silent question has been dismissed by my heart. Even when your words became weak, even when prayer felt like only a breath, even when you did not know how to explain the ache inside you, I was near. I am near now. That is why I am asking you not to reject these words. Do not close your heart because disappointment has taught you to expect less. Do not step away because past seasons made you afraid to believe again. Do not assume this message is for someone stronger, someone cleaner, someone more spiritual, someone more worthy. I am speaking to you, my beloved child, now. I know you have had seasons when every door felt closed. You looked for movement but saw delay. You asked for clarity but received quiet. You hoped for change, but the same burden kept meeting you at the beginning of each day. And somewhere along the way you began wondering if my silence meant my absence. But my beloved child, silence is not always absence. A mother does not stop loving her sleeping child because the room is quiet. A gardener does not abandon the roots because the flower has not opened. A builder does not forget the foundation simply because the house has not yet risen. There are works I do in hidden places. There are strengths I form before anyone can recognize them. There are answers I prepare before your eyes are ready to see them. My word says that I know the plans I have for you. Plans for peace and not for harm. Plans to give you a future and a hope. Hear that not as a distant sentence, but as my voice over your life today. I have not been guessing with your future. I have not been uncertain about your path. I have not been confused by what confused you. I know the plans. I know the timing. I know the door. I know the healing. I know the person I am forming within you. My beloved child, you have looked at your weakness and called it failure, but I have seen it as the place where my strength can enter. You have looked at your waiting and called it delay, but I have seen it as soil where deeper roots can grow. You have looked at your tears and called them evidence that you are breaking, but I have gathered them as prayers your mouth could not finish. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not outside my care. These words are not here to shame you. They are here to awaken you. They are here to remind you that the story is not finished, that the door is not forever closed, that the night has not erased the promise, and that the heaviness you feel is not stronger than the hand holding you. My beloved child, I know you have protected yourself from hope. You have tried not to expect too much because expecting once brought pain. You have told yourself to stay practical, to stay guarded, to stay prepared for disappointment. But I did not create your heart to live behind walls of fear. I created your heart to receive, my love to recognize my voice and to rise when I call. So let these words enter slowly. Do not rush past them. Do not listen only with your ears. Let them reach the place in you that has been tired of pretending. Let them reach the place that still wants to believe. Let them reach the place that wonders whether a new beginning could still be possible. Yes, my beloved child, it is possible. Not because you are strong enough to make everything happen by yourself. Not because you have understood every lesson perfectly. Not because you have never fallen. It is possible because I am still God over your life, and I am still able to bring light into places that seemed covered by shadow. Remember Samuel when he heard his name at night. He did not understand who was calling him, yet I spoke until his heart learned to answer. My beloved child, I have been calling you too gently, through quiet stirrings, through repeated thoughts that pull you toward me, through the dissatisfaction you feel with the old way of living, through the soft desire to become whole again. That stirring is not meaningless. That desire is not weakness. That ache for something deeper is not an accident. It is my invitation. Today I am placing these words before you like a letter sealed with love. Open it with trust. Receive it without fear. Let your heart believe that I still speak, still guide, still restore, and still call my children forward. My beloved child, these words were written for you not to entertain you for a moment, but to meet you at the edge of change. Hold them close. Let them wake what has been sleeping. Let them soften what has become guarded. Let them remind you that heaven has not lost sight of your name. And as you continue listening, I will show you that I am leading you into a new season, not a season ruled by anxiety and old fear, but a season where your spirit begins to rise again beneath my promises. My beloved child, I have told you that these words were written for you. Now I want you to hear what I am doing beneath the surface of your life. I am leading you into a new season, not a season built on the old fear, not a season where anxiety rises before your feet touch the floor, not a season where you wake only to carry the same heaviness, repeat the same worries, and wonder if anything will ever truly change. My beloved child, I did not awaken you today simply so you could survive another circle of doubt. I did not bring this message to your heart merely to soothe you for a moment and then leave you unchanged. I am calling you forward. I am stirring something holy within you. I am drawing you out of the narrow place where fear has trained your soul to expect disappointment. You may not see the full shape of this new season yet. That is all right. A sunrise does not reveal the whole day in one instant. It begins with a quiet change in the sky. The darkness loosens, the air shifts, the birds begin to sing before the world is fully bright. In the same way, my beloved child, I often begin a new season within you before the outer circumstances have fully changed around you. You may feel it as a restlessness with what used to satisfy you. You may feel it as a quiet refusal to stay trapped in old thoughts. You may feel it as a hunger for peace that is deeper than comfort. You may feel it as a gentle pull toward prayer, healing, honesty, and courage. Do not ignore that stirring. It is not random. It is not your imagination. It is my hand touching the door of your heart. My beloved child, when I begin a new season, I do not always begin by changing everything around you. Often I begin by changing what you can no longer tolerate within you. You can no longer live in the same agreement with fear. You can no longer call delay your identity. You can no longer mistake exhaustion for faithfulness. You can no longer shrink yourself to fit places I am leading you out of. This is grace. It may feel uncomfortable, but it is grace. It may feel like disruption, but it is my mercy breaking the pattern that has held you too long. My word says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing, and now it springs forth. Shall you not perceive it?" My beloved child, I want you to perceive it. I want you to notice the first green shoot breaking through ground that once looked barren. I want you to recognize the first soft light touching the edge of your old night. I want you to understand that what begins quietly can still be from me. You have spent seasons asking me for change, but sometimes when change approaches, your heart becomes afraid. You prayed for a new door, yet the thought of leaving familiar ground makes you tremble. You asked for freedom, yet the old cage feels familiar because you learned how to live inside it. You asked for healing, yet healing asks you to stop protecting the wound as though it were part of who you are. My beloved child, I understand. I know why you hesitate. I know why the old place feels safer. I know why you want more proof before moving forward. But I am not calling you out to abandon you. I am calling you out because the old season cannot carry the person I am forming in you. The place that once protected you may now be limiting you. The patterns that once helped you survive may now be keeping you from becoming whole. Let me lead you. Do not demand that every fear disappear before you trust my hand. Courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is choosing to walk with me while your heart is still learning peace. Remember the people of Israel when I brought them out of Egypt. Their bodies had left the place of slavery, but their minds still carried the fear of it. They stood between what they knew and what I had promised. The road ahead felt uncertain, and the past kept calling them backward. Yet I was leading them by cloud and fire, one day at a time. My beloved child, I lead you with the same faithfulness. Maybe not through a visible cloud, maybe not through fire in the night sky, but through peace that keeps returning, through truth that will not leave your heart, through doors that close gently behind you. through the quiet conviction that you cannot remain where fear has kept you small. This new season is not only about receiving blessings, it is about becoming ready to live differently when they arrive. I am not merely placing something new into your hands. I am making your heart new enough to carry it with humility, wisdom, and steadiness. That is why I am working on the inside. I am renewing how you think. I am healing how you remember. I am softening how you respond. I am teaching you to stop measuring my faithfulness by immediate comfort. My beloved child, a new season does not always begin with applause. Sometimes it begins with a private yes, a small surrender, a quiet decision not to return to what kept you bound. A moment when you whisper, "Father, I do not understand everything, but I will follow you." That is enough for me to begin. Do not despise the beginning because it feels small. Many holy beginnings arrive like a seed in the hand, not a harvest in the field. I know how to grow what you place before me. I know how to breathe life into what seems fragile. I know how to take one sincere yes and build a road where you saw only uncertainty. My beloved child, I am leading you into a new season, not because you forced it open, not because you earned it through perfect strength, not because you never doubted. I am leading you because my mercy is still moving, my promise is still alive, and my love has not finished its work in you. So lift your head gently, let your heart breathe again, let hope enter without apology. The old fear does not get the final word over your story. The old heaviness does not get to name your future. The old delay does not get to decide what I can still do. I am opening your spirit to trust again. I am teaching your feet to move again. I am calling your name into the morning of a new season. Even now, beneath what looks unfinished, I am arranging strength, clarity, and courage for the steps that will soon stand before you in my perfect timing with peace within. And as you continue listening, I will show you that what you called delay was preparation, because the quiet years, the closed doors, and the hidden waiting were not wasted in my hands. My beloved child, I have told you that I am leading you into a new season. Now I want you to look at the years, prayers, and doors you called delay. What you called delay was preparation. I know how long it felt. I know how many times you looked at the same situation and wondered why it had not changed. I know the ache of waiting when others seemed to move forward faster. I know the quiet disappointment that settled in your heart when the answer did not arrive when you expected it. My beloved child, you saw the closed door and thought it meant no. You saw the slow path and thought it meant failure. You saw the silence and thought it meant I had forgotten. But I was not absent in the waiting. I was working in places you could not see. A seed does not accuse the soil because it is dark. It does not understand that hiddenness is part of growth. Beneath the ground, roots are forming before the stem appears. Strength is being gathered before beauty is visible. What seems buried for a season is often being prepared to rise. So it has been with you. I have been forming roots. I have been deepening trust. I have been teaching your soul to stand where shallow excitement would not have been enough. My beloved child, some blessings would have crushed you if they had arrived before your heart was ready. Not because you were unworthy, but because love prepares the vessel before pouring in what must be carried. A cup with cracks cannot hold what is precious for long. So I have been healing the cracks, strengthening the places that were thin, and teaching you to receive without fear. You prayed for the open door. I was preparing the heart that would walk through it. You prayed for the new season. I was preparing the wisdom to live inside it. You prayed for the promise. I was preparing your hands not to drop it when it came. This is why waiting is not wasted when fully surrendered to me. Waiting can become holy ground. Waiting can become a classroom of trust. Waiting can become the quiet workshop where I remove what would hinder you and build what will sustain you. My beloved child, remember Joseph. He had dreams that came from me. Yet the road to those dreams did not look like favor at first. He passed through betrayal, slavery, false accusation, and prison. To natural eyes, it looked like delay after delay, but in every hidden place I was shaping him. I was teaching him wisdom, patience, discernment, mercy, and endurance. When the appointed hour came, he was not only lifted into position, he had become deep enough to save many lives. So do not judge your waiting too quickly. Do not call a hidden season meaningless. Do not assume that because people cannot see what I am doing, nothing sacred is happening. My beloved child, I have used the delays to show you what was still ruling your heart. When you did not receive the answer quickly, fear rose. When the door stayed closed, frustration spoke. When others seemed chosen before you, comparison tried to enter. I did not reveal these things to condemn you. I revealed them so they could be healed. What is hidden cannot be surrendered. What is unseen often remains unhealed. So I allowed the waiting to bring certain things to the surface, not to shame you, but to free you from them. My beloved child, I am not only interested in where you are going, I care deeply about who you are becoming on the way. If I gave you the destination while your soul remained full of fear, the destination would not heal you. If I gave you the opportunity while your identity still depended on approval, the opportunity would become another chain. If I gave you the blessing while your heart still lived in panic, the blessing would not feel like peace. So I prepared you, slowly, tenderly, faithfully, even when you did not understand. My word says that those who wait upon me shall renew their strength. They shall rise with wings like eagles. My beloved child, this waiting is not meant to make you weaker. It is meant to renew the strength that fear has drained. It teaches you that your life is not held together by speed. It is held together by my faithfulness. There were times when you wanted to rush because delay made you feel behind. But you are not behind in my hands. You are not late because another person arrived earlier. You are not forgotten because someone else entered their visible season first. I do not measure your life by the calendar of another soul. I know your road. I know your pace. I know the timing your heart needs. My beloved child, do not let comparison poison the preparation. A tree planted by the river does not envy the flower that blooms quickly in the field. The tree grows differently because it is made to endure differently. Its roots go deeper. Its shade arrives later. Its fruit comes in season. What I am forming in you may require a deeper process because it is meant to carry lasting purpose. Let me prepare you without resentment. Let me strengthen you without complaint. Let me teach you without your heart asking why it is taking so long. There is a kind of maturity only waiting can produce. It teaches you to pray without controlling me. It teaches you to hope without demanding signs every moment. It teaches you to remain faithful when nothing outside applauds you. It teaches you to know me, not only my gifts. My beloved child, this is one of the sweetest fruits of preparation. You begin to want my presence more than the answer. You begin to trust my character more than your understanding. You begin to find peace not because everything has changed, but because you know I am with you while change is still unfolding. That is deep faith. That is steady faith. That is faith that can carry the new season when it comes. So look again at the delay. Look again at the quiet years. Look again at the doors that stayed closed longer than you wanted. I was not withholding love from you. I was preparing you in love. I was building strength beneath the surface. I was teaching your roots to reach for living water. I was making your heart ready for what your prayers were asking me to release. And now, my beloved child, do not despise the preparation. Bless the hidden work. Thank me for what I protected you from when you thought I was denying you. Trust me for what I am still arranging where your eyes cannot see. What you called delay was preparation. And as you continue listening, I will show you that pressure is pushing you out of the old place, because the hand that prepared you in waiting is guiding you beyond what can no longer contain the person you are becoming. My beloved child, I have shown you that what you called delay was preparation. Now I want you to understand the pressure you have been feeling. Pressure is pushing you out of the old place. I know this pressure has made you uncomfortable. I know it has pressed against your thoughts. I know it has made familiar things feel strangely heavy. I know there are moments when you wonder why the place that once felt safe no longer gives you peace. My beloved child, not every pressure is meant to destroy you. Some pressure is my mercy moving you. Some discomfort is my hand awakening what has been sleeping. Some closed doors are not rejection. They are protection. Some endings are not punishment. They are invitations into a wider path. You asked me for change. You asked me for growth. You asked me for freedom. But when I began loosening the roots that tied you to the old place, your heart became afraid. This is why I speak gently to you now. Do not mistake the shaking for abandonment. I am not trying to make you homeless in your own life. I am making room for the new season I have already begun preparing. My beloved child, there are places that served you for a time but cannot carry you into what comes next. There are patterns that helped you survive, but now keep you small. There are relationships, routines, fears, and comforts that once felt familiar, yet now drain the life I am trying to restore within you. You feel the pressure because the old place has become too narrow. You feel the discomfort because your soul is outgrowing what fear taught it to accept. You feel the stirring because I am calling you forward. Think of a bird inside an egg. The shell once protected its life, but the day comes when that same shell must break, or the life inside cannot breathe, stretch, or rise. My beloved child, I know breaking feels frightening, but not every breaking is loss. Sometimes what breaks is the wall between you and the life I am calling you to enter. Do not cling to the shell because it feels known. Do not call captivity safety because you have lived with it for a long time. Do not return to the old place simply because the first steps into freedom feel unfamiliar. My word says, be strong and courageous, for I am with you wherever you go. I do not ask you to be courageous because the road will feel easy. I ask you to be courageous because you will not walk it alone. My beloved child, I am with you in the pressure. I am with you when the old door closes. I am with you when comfort disappears. I am with you when your heart trembles between what you have known and what I am asking you to trust. Remember Elijah by the brook. For a season the water there sustained him. I provided for him in that hidden place, but then the brook dried up. To natural eyes it may have looked like lack, disappointment, or the end of provision, yet the dried brook was not proof that I had forgotten him. It was my direction moving him toward the next place of provision. So it is with you. When something dries up, do not immediately assume I have left. When a place loses peace, do not immediately believe you have failed. When what once fed you no longer carries life, ask me where I am leading you next. My beloved child, sometimes I use holy discomfort to save you from remaining in a season that has already ended. You may try to revive what I am asking you to release. You may keep pouring energy into doors I am gently closing. You may keep praying for peace in a place where I am inviting you to move. Listen carefully. Peace is not always found by staying. Sometimes peace is found by obeying. Sometimes peace waits on the other side of release. Sometimes peace begins after you stop arguing with the direction I have already whispered to your heart. My beloved child, this pressure is not asking you to panic. I am not calling you to run wildly or make reckless choices. I am calling you to become honest. Honest about what no longer carries grace. Honest about what keeps pulling you backward. Honest about where fear has been dressing itself in the clothing of wisdom. There is a difference between patience and avoidance. There is a difference between preparation and hiding. There is a difference between waiting on me and refusing to move because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. I will teach you the difference. I will guide you with peace. I will not mock your trembling, but I will not let fear become your shepherd. My beloved child, if the pressure has been increasing, bring it to me instead of fighting it alone. Ask me what I am showing you. Ask me what I am loosening. Ask me what I am asking you to release. Ask me what old agreement, old habit, old wound, or old fear can no longer come with you. Do not only pray for the pressure to stop, pray for the wisdom to understand its purpose. Pray for the courage to follow where I am leading. Pray for a heart soft enough to move when my voice says, come. You are not being pushed away from love. You are being drawn out of limitation. You are not being driven into emptiness. You are being led toward fullness. You are not losing your life. You are being invited to receive it more deeply. My beloved child, I know the old place has memories. I know it has explanations. I know it has people habits and emotional rooms where you learned how to survive. I do not dishonor what helped you endure, but I will not let yesterday become a prison for your tomorrow. Bless what was useful. Release what is finished. Follow me into what is alive. The pressure you feel is not the final word. It is the movement before transition. It is the stretching before expansion. It is the shaking that loosens what cannot remain. It is the holy discomfort of a soul being awakened into greater trust. So do not shrink back. Do not call yourself weak because you feel afraid. Do not assume the unknown is empty. I am already there. I have gone before you. I am preparing the ground beneath steps you have not yet taken. My beloved child, pressure is pushing you out of the old place because I love you too deeply to let you sleep through your calling. I have more life for you than the narrow room fear built around your heart. Let me lead you beyond it with patient courage growing inside your heart. And as you continue listening, I will teach you to trust before you see the whole road, because the one who leaves the old place must learn to place the next step into my hands before the entire path is revealed. My beloved child, I have shown you that pressure is pushing you out of the old place. Now I want to teach your heart how to move forward without needing the whole road revealed. Trust before you see the whole road. I know you want certainty. I know you want details. I know you want to understand where each step will lead before you lift your foot from the ground. You want the full map, the clear answer, the safe guarantee, the sign that removes every question from your mind. But my beloved child, if you wait until every shadow is gone before you move, you will never learn the beauty of walking with me. Faith does not begin when everything is visible. Faith begins when my voice becomes enough for the next step. I am not asking you to close your eyes and wander without wisdom. I am asking you to open your heart and trust the one who sees what you cannot yet see. There is a difference between blind impulse and holy trust. Impulse runs ahead without listening. Trust listens, receives peace, and moves even while the road is still unfolding. My beloved child, I will not always show you the whole journey at once, because the whole journey would overwhelm you. If you saw every valley, you might forget the grace I placed there. If you saw every mountain, you might assume you could never climb it. If you saw every bend in the road, you might try to control what I am asking you to surrender. So I give you enough light for today, enough grace for this step, enough peace for this decision, enough strength for the obedience now before you. My word says that the lamp is for your feet and the light is for your path. Notice this, my beloved child. A lamp does not reveal the entire horizon. It gives light close enough for the next step to be taken safely. Then, as you walk, more light appears. This is how I guide many of my children. Step by step, prayer by prayer, trust by trust. You may want the ending before the beginning, but I am teaching you to find me along the way. Remember Abraham. I called him to leave what was familiar without giving him every detail of the land ahead. He did not receive a complete map with every hill, river, delay, and blessing marked clearly. He received my word, and he walked. His faith was not perfect because he understood everything. His faith became living because he trusted me while he did not yet know everything. So it is with you. I may not show you the full destination today, but I will show you the next faithful step. I may not explain every delay today, but I will give you peace enough to keep walking. I may not answer every question today, but I will stay near enough for your heart to rest. My beloved child, you often think clarity must come before obedience, but many times clarity grows after obedience begins. The river does not always open while you are still standing far from it. Sometimes the water parts when your foot moves toward what I have spoken. Sometimes peace becomes stronger after the first act of trust. Sometimes the door becomes visible only when you stop staring at the wall behind you. This is why I am asking you not to wait forever at the edge of the road. Do not keep asking for another sign if I have already placed quiet conviction in your heart. Do not keep returning to fear, as though fear is wiser than my spirit. Do not mistake endless analysis for discernment. My beloved child, discernment brings peace even when it asks for courage. Fear brings paralysis and calls it patience. Discernment listens to me. Fear listens to every possible loss. Discernment can move slowly and still move. Fear often refuses to move while pretending it is being careful. Let me teach you the difference. I will not shame your questions. I will not reject your trembling, but I will invite you beyond the place where fear has been allowed to hold the steering wheel of your life. Think of a child learning to walk while a loving parent stands near. The child does not understand the whole room. The child does not calculate every movement. The child looks at the face of the one calling and takes a small step. Sometimes the step is unsteady. Sometimes the child reaches out quickly, but the parent is near enough to catch, guide, and encourage. My beloved child, look at my face more than the distance. Look at my faithfulness more than the unknown. Look at my hand more than the ground that has not yet been explained. I am not calling you forward so you can fall alone. I am calling you forward so you can discover that my hand has been closer than your fear allowed you to believe. There are blessings you will only meet on the road. There are strengths you will only discover while walking. There are answers that will not come to a heart frozen in place, but will unfold to the heart willing to follow. My beloved child, when I asked Peter to come to me on the water, the waves had not become silent first. The sea still moved. The wind still pressed. The boat still seemed safer. Yet my voice was stronger than the storm. The miracle was not waiting inside the boat. It was waiting where obedience met my call. Do you see now? You do not need the storm to disappear before you trust me. You need to know that I am present above the storm. You do not need the road to be fully lit before you walk. You need to know that I am the one holding the light. My beloved child, take the next step, not the reckless step, not the step pushed by panic, the faithful step, the step that aligns with peace, the step that answers the quiet truth I have been placing before you, the step that says, Father, I do not know everything, but I know you are with me. That is enough. Enough to begin, enough to move, enough to leave the old place behind, enough to let the next light appear. I will not rush you with harshness. I will steady you with love. Each faithful step will train your heart to recognize my guidance more quickly, until the unknown no longer feels like an enemy, but a place where you can meet my faithfulness again, with courage, hope, and quiet trust today. Trust before you see the whole road. Walk with me in the light you have now. Let your faith become stronger through movement, not only through thought. Let your yes rise before every question has been silenced. And as you continue listening, I will show you how to let peace become the sign that guides you, because the child who walks by faith must also learn to recognize the quiet peace of my presence along the path. My beloved child, I have taught you to trust before you see the whole road. Now I want to teach you how to recognize my guidance while you are walking. Let peace become the sign that guides you. Not every open door is from me. Not every closed door is rejection. Not every fast opportunity carries life. Not every difficult path means you are outside my will. This is why you need more than outward signs. You need the quiet witness of my peace. You need to learn the difference between the noise that pulls you apart and the peace that gathers you back into my presence. My beloved child, my peace is not always loud. It does not always arrive with dramatic feelings. It may come as a quiet steadiness beneath your questions. It may come as a gentle breath inside your chest when the world around you still looks uncertain. It may come as the calm conviction that says, this way is not easy, but my Father is here. Learn to notice that. Learn to honor that. Learn not to dismiss peace simply because fear is speaking louder. Fear often shouts. Peace often whispers. Fear demands immediate control. Peace invites trust. Fear paints every possible loss in dark colors. Peace does not deny the challenge, but it reminds you that you are not alone within it. My beloved child, when confusion keeps multiplying, pause. When your thoughts begin running in circles without producing light, pause. When a choice feels like it is pushing you into panic, pause. I am not the author of confusion that destroys your rest. I may stretch your faith, but I do not lead your soul by torment. My word says that my peace surpasses understanding and guards the heart and mind. Notice that, my beloved child, it does not say peace always explains everything first. It says peace guards you. It stands like a quiet keeper at the doorway of your inner life, helping you know what belongs and what does not belong. If a path demands that you betray your conscience, it is not my peace. If a voice makes you feel worthless, it is not my correction. If an opportunity requires you to abandon truth, it is not my blessing. If a relationship keeps pulling you away from love, wisdom, and holiness, bring it before me and let peace speak. My beloved child, peace will not always choose the easiest road. Sometimes the peaceful road still requires courage. Sometimes it asks you to speak honestly, release what you wanted, apologize, begin again, or walk away from what others still admire. But even when the step is difficult, my peace carries a clean strength within it. There is a difference between hard and wrong. There is a difference between trembling and being misled. There is a difference between holy courage and anxious striving. I will teach you this difference as you remain near me. Remember Gideon. When I called him, he did not feel like a mighty warrior. He looked at his weakness, his family, and his limitations. Yet I spoke peace to him before sending him forward. The assignment was not easy, but my presence became his assurance. He did not become brave because every question vanished. He moved because I met his fear with peace. So it is with you. Do not wait until you feel fearless before you obey. Seek the peace that comes from my presence, not the comfort that comes from avoiding all risk. My beloved child, there are moments when peace will guide you by drawing you forward. You will sense a quiet yes rising in your heart. Not excitement alone, not pressure from people, not a desperate need to prove yourself. A quiet yes, a deep agreement between your spirit and my truth. When that peace comes, walk with humility and courage. There are also moments when peace will guide you by making your spirit unsettled. Something may look beautiful on the outside, but inside you sense a gentle warning. Do not ignore that warning just because the door looks attractive. I see what is hidden beyond appearances. I know what certain paths will cost your soul. My beloved child, I protect you not only by opening doors, but also by disturbing your peace when something is not for you. A shepherd does not guide sheep only by leading them toward green pastures. He also turns them away from cliffs, thorns, and waters that seem pleasant but are not safe. Trust my shepherding. Trust my restraint. Trust the peace I give and the peace I remove. This does not mean you must become afraid of every decision. I do not want you trapped in overthinking. I do not want you examining every feeling until you cannot move. Peace is not obsession. Peace is not endless checking. Peace is the quiet confidence that grows as you pray, listen, surrender, and take the next honest step. My beloved child, you will learn peace by practicing nearness. The more time you spend with me, the more familiar my peace becomes. You will begin to recognize when fear is pretending to be wisdom, when desire is pretending to be guidance, when pride is pretending to be strength, and when impatience is pretending to be faith. Stay near me. Let prayer slow you down. Let my word cleanse the noise. Let gratitude soften your heart. Let surrender open your hands. A heart crowded with control struggles to hear peace. A heart always chasing approval struggles to follow peace. A heart filled with resentment struggles to rest in peace. So when peace feels distant, do not accuse me of silence too quickly. Ask what noise has been sitting too close to your soul. My beloved child, my peace is a gift, but it is also a path. Walk in it, return to it. Refuse to give fear the authority to guide your steps. Let peace become the lamp inside your decisions, the quiet river beneath your work, the still place you return to. Before you answer, choose, speak, or move. You do not need to force the door. You do not need to chase what steals your rest. You do not need to make fear sound spiritual. When I give peace, receive it with reverence. When I withhold peace, listen with humility. I am teaching your heart to move with me, not ahead of me and not behind me, but beside me, closely today. I will guide you, not always with thunder, not always with signs everyone else can see, often with a peace that remains when you have placed everything in my hands. Let that peace lead you forward, my beloved child. Let it slow you when your soul is rushing. Let it strengthen you when the road requires courage. Let it warn you when something is not clean. Let it confirm the steps that carry my life. And as you continue listening, I will teach you to walk toward the light already before you, because peace is not meant to keep you standing still forever, but to guide your feet into the path I have already begun to illuminate. My beloved child, I have taught you to let peace become the sign that guides you. Now I want you to understand what peace is leading you toward. Walk toward the light already before you. Do not keep standing at a distance. Do not only admire the light. Do not keep telling yourself that one day when fear is quieter and every detail is clearer, then you will move. My beloved child, I have already placed light before you. It may not yet cover the whole road, but it is enough to call your next step forward. It may be a small ray, but small light still breaks darkness. It may appear gentle, but my gentle light has power to guide a weary soul. You have asked me to show you the way. Now I am showing you the part you are ready to walk. You have asked me for direction. Now I am giving you enough light to obey. You have asked me for courage. Now I am calling you to take the step where courage will grow. My beloved child, there are moments when people miss my guidance because they expect it to come like a great flame across the sky. They wait for something so dramatic that no trust is required. But many times I guide with a quiet lamp, a repeated conviction, a peace that keeps returning, a holy dissatisfaction with the old place, or a simple truth that will not leave your heart. Do not despise quiet light. Do not call it too small. Do not reject the beginning because it does not yet look like the full answer. My word says, the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, growing brighter and brighter until the full day. Notice, my beloved child, dawn does not arrive all at once. It grows, it changes the horizon little by little. The sky does not argue with the first light because it is not yet noon. It receives the beginning and lets the day unfold. Receive the beginning I am giving you. Let the light you have become the light you walk in. There is a door of understanding already open within your heart. There is a step of obedience known to you. There is a place where I have been gently saying, come closer, release that fear, speak that truth, begin again, stop turning back, walk toward me. My beloved child, you do not need to make the light yourself. You only need to respond to the light I have given. A traveler carrying a lantern through a narrow path does not see the whole mountain road at once. But with each step, the lantern moves too. What was hidden becomes visible. What felt impossible from far away becomes walkable with trust. So take the step, not in panic, not in pride, not to prove yourself to anyone. Take the step because I am calling you from darkness into my light. Remember the wise men who saw the star and followed it. They did not know every detail of the journey. They did not understand every road delay or challenge ahead, but they recognized the light given to them, and they followed until they found the one they were seeking. My beloved child, I also place guiding lights along your path. Some are quiet, some are repeated, some appear through prayer, some appear through a peace you cannot explain. Follow what draws you nearer to me. Do not follow the lights that flatter your ego and leave your soul empty. Do not follow the lights that shine brightly for a moment but pull you away from truth. Do not follow the lights that make sin look harmless and fear look wise. Walk toward the light that carries my peace. Walk toward the light that makes your heart softer, cleaner, braver, and more surrendered. My beloved child, there is a difference between light and noise. Noise demands attention. Light gives direction. Noise stirs confusion. Light brings clarity. Noise makes you feel behind. Light helps you take the faithful step before you. The world is full of noise trying to imitate light, but my children learn the difference by remaining close to my voice. That is why I keep calling you back to me. Not because I want to control you harshly, because I want to guard your steps in love. Some of the light before you may require you to leave a shadow you have grown used to. A shadow can feel familiar when you have sat in it for a long time. You may know its edges, you may know its language, you may know how to survive there, but familiarity is not freedom. If I am calling you toward light, do not keep negotiating with the shadow. Do not keep asking darkness to bless your future. Do not keep returning to what makes your spirit smaller. My beloved child, walk toward the light already before you. Walk toward the prayer you know you need to pray. Walk toward the forgiveness that will unclench your heart. Walk toward the honest decision you have delayed. Walk toward the healing conversation, the clean boundary, the humble beginning, the quiet act of obedience, the life that looks more like me. This light is not meant only to comfort you. It is meant to lead you. It is not meant only to warm your heart. It is meant to guide your feet. It is not meant only to make you feel better for a moment. It is meant to bring you into a way of living that reflects my presence. My beloved child, I know the first step may feel small, but I work through small beginnings. A small flame can light a room. A small key can open a great door. A small yes can redirect a life. A small act of trust can become the place where heaven begins opening what fear said would remain closed. So do not wait until the whole sky is bright. Walk in the light you have. Do not wait until every feeling agrees. Walk with the peace I give. Do not wait until fear approves. Fear will never gladly release what it has controlled. I am calling you higher than fear. My beloved child, as you walk toward the light, you will discover that the light is not only before you, it is also rising within you. Your thoughts will become clearer. Your desires will become purer. Your courage will become steadier. Your old darkness will begin losing its claim over your imagination. Step by step, you will learn that my light does not merely show you where to go. It shows you who you are becoming in me. So come forward. Let your soul stop standing at the edge of the morning. Let your feet follow the light touching your path. I am not calling you into confusion. I am calling you into life. And as you continue listening, I will open your spiritual eyes, because the one who walks toward my light must also learn to see beyond circumstances and recognize the help, protection, and promise surrounding them. My beloved child, I have called you to walk toward the light already before you. Now I want to touch the way you see, because the path ahead cannot be understood only through natural eyes. Open your spiritual eyes. You have been looking at what is visible: the closed door, the delayed answer, the empty place, the difficult conversation, the mountain that still stands in front of you. But my beloved child, what you can see is not the whole story. Your eyes can notice the problem, but fear often tells you what the problem means. Fear says you are alone. Fear says nothing is changing. Fear says the door is closed forever. Fear says the silence means I have stopped working. Do not let fear interpret your life. Let me open your eyes. There are things happening around you that natural sight cannot measure. There are ways I have protected you that you never noticed. There are dangers I turned aside before they reached your door. There are delays that sheltered you. There are endings that saved you. There are quiet arrangements being made while you are still asking whether I have heard. My beloved child, you have not walked one day outside my sight, even when you felt unseen, even when people misunderstood you, even when the road seemed lonely, even when you thought nothing holy could be happening in such ordinary pain. I was there. I am there now. My word says that you walk by faith, not by sight. This does not mean you deny reality. It means you refuse to make visible circumstances the final authority over your heart. Faith sees the problem, but it also remembers my promise. Faith sees the lack, but it also remembers my provision. Faith sees the battle, but it also remembers that heaven is not empty. My beloved child, spiritual sight begins when you stop staring only at what threatens you and begin asking, Father, what are you doing here? Ask me to show you the mercy hidden inside the delay. Ask me to show you the lesson inside the pressure. Ask me to show you the protection inside the closed door. Ask me to show you the invitation inside the discomfort. There are seasons when your eyes become tired from looking at the same burden. You study it from every angle. You rehearse it in your mind. You imagine outcomes that have not happened. You build fear upon fear until the burden appears larger than my faithfulness. Pause there. Breathe. Lift your eyes. The burden is not bigger than me. The obstacle is not beyond me. The future is not outside my hands. Remember Hagar in the wilderness. She was weary, afraid, and convinced that her situation had reached its final sorrow. Yet I heard the cry in that desert place. I opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water that had been near. The provision was not far away, but her pain had covered her sight. My beloved child, sometimes what you need is not that I create help from nothing, but that I open your eyes to the help already near. The well may be closer than you think. The answer may be forming in a way you did not expect. The strength may be rising quietly inside you. The path may be present, though fear has made it difficult to recognize. Let me lift the veil. Let me clear the fog. Let me teach your soul to see again. Spiritual sight does not make you careless. It makes you steady. It does not cause you to ignore wisdom. It helps you recognize wisdom. It does not make you pretend there is no trouble. It helps you see my presence in the trouble. My beloved child, when your eyes are opened, you will begin to notice small signs of grace. A word arrives at the right time. A door closes before greater harm can enter. A peace returns when you surrender. A person steps away, and later you understand my protection. A delay feels painful, and later you see how it preserved you for something cleaner. These are not accidents. These are traces of my hand. My beloved child, remember this also. Some answers are hidden because I am protecting their timing. If you saw everything too soon, you might run ahead of grace. If you knew every detail, you might try to control what I am asking you to trust. Spiritual sight is not having every secret revealed. It is seeing enough of my goodness to keep walking with me in peace, humility, and patient faith today. Do not dismiss them because they are gentle. Not every miracle announces itself with thunder. Some miracles arrive quietly, like a lamp placed in a hallway at night. It may not light the whole house, but it keeps you from stumbling. It gives enough direction to keep moving. It reminds you that darkness has not been left in control. My beloved child, I want you to see your life with healed vision. Not through the lens of rejection, not through the lens of old disappointment, not through the lens of shame, comparison, or fear. Those lenses distort what is in front of you. They can make a blessing look dangerous, a delay look like abandonment, and a correction look like rejection. Give me those lenses. Let my truth become your sight. Let my love teach your eyes what fear could never understand. When you see with me, you will not panic at every shadow. You will not worship every problem. You will not bow to every closed door as if it has more authority than my voice. You will begin to understand that I can surround you with help even while circumstances still look uncertain. My beloved child, ask for opened eyes each day. Before you respond, ask me to help you see clearly. Before you decide, ask me to show you what is hidden. Before you give up, ask me whether there is grace you have not noticed. Before you call the situation hopeless, ask me to reveal what my hand is doing beneath the surface. I delight in that prayer. It is humble, it is wise. It says, Father, I do not want to be ruled by what fear shows me. I want to see with you. And as your spiritual eyes open, your courage will become quieter and stronger. You will move less from panic and more from trust. You will recognize protection without resentment. You will accept redirection without assuming rejection. You will walk forward knowing that my angels, my mercy, my timing, and my wisdom are surrounding more of your life than you can presently see. My beloved child, open your spiritual eyes. Let me show you that you are not alone in the valley, not abandoned in the waiting, not unprotected in the storm, and not forgotten at the door. And as you continue listening, I will teach you not to remain outside the threshold, because once your eyes begin to see my hand around you, your heart must learn to step into what I have already opened before you. My beloved child, I have opened your spiritual eyes to see that you are not alone, not unprotected, and not forgotten. Now I want to speak to the place where you have been standing. Do not remain outside the threshold. You have come close. You have heard my voice. You have felt the stirring. You have seen enough light to know that I am calling you forward. Yet part of your heart still stands at the doorway looking in, wondering if it is safe to enter. You can see the beginning of what I am preparing, but fear keeps asking for one more sign, one more confirmation, one more delay before you move. My beloved child, there comes a moment when waiting becomes hesitation. There comes a moment when caution stops serving wisdom and starts serving fear. There comes a moment when the door is no longer closed, but the heart remains outside because it is afraid of what obedience will require. I am not saying this to frighten you. I am saying this to awaken you. The threshold is not your home. You were not created to live forever between promise and fear, between hearing and obeying, between seeing the door and refusing to step through it. My beloved child, I have been patient with your trembling. I have listened to your questions. I have comforted your wounds. I have shown you that what looked like delay was preparation, that pressure was moving you out of the old place, and that my peace could guide your steps. But now I ask you to stop treating the doorway like a place to build your life. A doorway is meant for passage. A threshold is meant to be crossed. Light is meant to be entered, not admired from a distance. My word says that I set before my children an open door that no one can shut. My beloved child, when I open what is yours, do not let fear make you live as though it remains locked. Do not stand before grace and keep calling yourself unready. Do not keep rehearsing every possible reason to stay where you are. If I have opened the door, I will also give grace for the steps beyond it. You may not know everything waiting on the other side. You may not feel completely steady. You may not have every emotion settled. But trust is not proven by standing still forever. Trust becomes visible when your feet begin to answer what your heart has already heard. My beloved child, think of the priests who carried the ark toward the Jordan. The river was not calm when they approached. It was overflowing its banks. To natural eyes, stepping forward looked unreasonable. Yet I did not open the waters while they remained far away in safety. The way opened as their feet touched the edge of the water. Do you see? Some pathways appear only to the moving heart. Some waters part only when obedience steps forward. Some promises become visible only after fear loses the power to keep you frozen. My beloved child, you have asked me for a new season, but a new season also asks something of you. It asks you to leave the posture of delay. It asks you to release the comfort of endlessly preparing. It asks you to stop using past pain as the reason you never enter what I am healing you enough to receive. I know why you hesitate. You remember disappointment. You remember doors that closed. You remember times you trusted and felt wounded. You remember prayers that did not unfold the way you hoped. But my beloved child, Yesterday's pain is not qualified to define tomorrow's obedience. Bring the memory to me, yes. Let me heal it, yes. But do not let it stand like a guard at the door I have opened. Fear will always ask you to wait until entering feels risk-free. But faith knows that my presence is the safety. Fear says, stay outside until you are certain. Faith says, step forward because God is with you. Fear says, what if you fail? Faith says, even if I stumble, my Father will hold me. My beloved child, the threshold may feel safe because it allows you to imagine both lives. You can look back at the old place and look forward at the new one. You can talk about change without fully entering it. You can dream about freedom while still keeping one hand on the chains that became familiar. But I love you too much to let imagination replace obedience. I love you too much to let potential become your resting place. I love you too much to let you spend your life looking at light while remaining outside its warmth. Step in, not wildly, not proudly, not because people are pushing you. Step in because my voice has been steady, my peace has been returning, and the door before you is not an accident. My beloved child, do not wait for fear to give you permission. Fear does not bless freedom. Fear does not celebrate courage. Fear does not gladly release the soul it has controlled. If you wait for fear to become silent before obeying, you may remain outside for a very long time. Let my voice become louder than fear. Let my promise become stronger than delay. Let my peace become the courage under your feet. There are gifts on the other side of this threshold. Not only outward blessings, but inner changes. A steadier mind, a softer heart, a cleaner yes, a deeper trust. A life no longer shaped by the old habit of turning back whenever the unknown appears. My beloved child, you do not cross the threshold once and become perfect. You cross it and continue walking with me. I will teach you there. I will correct you there. I will comfort you there. I will strengthen you there. The new place will still require dependence, but it will be dependence filled with movement, not paralysis. And when your feet step through, do not be surprised if the first room looks simple. Many beginnings are quiet. The promised land still had fields to tend, walls to face, and faith to practice. Entering does not remove your need for me. It simply places you where my next instruction can meet you more clearly in the days ahead, with steady grace and honest trust. So today, answer me with more than emotion. Answer me with a step, a phone call, a prayer, a boundary, a beginning, a release, a quiet yes that finally becomes action. Do not remain outside the threshold, my beloved child. The door I opened is not meant to mock you. It is meant to welcome you. My hand is not pointing from far away. My hand is reaching toward yours. Take it. Step through. Let the old fear stay behind. And as you continue listening, I will show you that small acts of love carry great power, because once you step through the doorway, the light I place within you is meant to flow outward and touch others with mercy, courage, and hope. My beloved child, I have called you not to remain outside the threshold. Now that I am drawing you forward, I want you to understand what the light within you is meant to do. Small acts of love carry great power. Do not wait until you feel completely healed before you become gentle. Do not wait until your life is perfect before you become useful. Do not wait until you have something large to offer before you offer what is already in your hands. My beloved child, many people overlook the small things because they are searching for something impressive. They think love must arrive with a loud voice, a great platform, a perfect moment, or a dramatic sign. But my kingdom often moves quietly. It enters through a kind word, a cup of water, a patient response, a prayer whispered in secret, a hand reaching towards someone who feels forgotten. Do not underestimate what love can do when it is offered sincerely. A small light can guide a tired traveler. A small seed can become a tree. A small word can keep hope alive in a heart that was close to surrendering. My beloved child, I see the moments you think do not matter. I see when you choose patience instead of irritation. I see when you listen without rushing someone. I see when you bless quietly, forgive quietly, help quietly, pray quietly, and keep your heart soft in a world that often rewards hardness. These things are not invisible to me. They are holy. They carry more weight than you know. My word says that whoever is faithful in little is faithful also in much. I do not measure only the size of the act. I look at the love within it. A great action done from pride can be empty, but a small action done from love can become a doorway through which my mercy enters another life. My beloved child, you may think you have little to give. You may feel tired. You may feel unfinished. You may look at your own wounds and wonder how you could ever become a blessing to someone else. But I tell you this, I can let healing flow through a heart that is still healing. I can place comfort in the mouth of one who has also needed comfort. I can use your tenderness, even the tenderness that was born through pain. Do not despise the compassion your suffering has formed. Do not hide the gentleness I preserved in you. Do not let disappointment make you withhold love from the people I place along your path. Remember the boy who offered loaves and fish before the hungry crowd. What he held looked too small. In human eyes, it was not enough for such a need. Yet when it was placed into my hands, it multiplied beyond what anyone expected. My beloved child, the power was not in the size of the offering. The power was in the surrender of it. So bring me what you have, a little strength, a little kindness, a little time, a little prayer, a little courage, a little willingness. Placed in my hands, little does not remain little. My beloved child, small acts of love also keep your heart awake. When you stop noticing the needs around you, your soul can grow dull. You can become so focused on your own pressure, your own waiting, your own unanswered questions, that you forget there are other weary hearts walking near you. Love opens the windows of the soul. It reminds you that you are part of something larger than your private struggle. This does not mean you must carry everyone. It does not mean you must rescue every person. It does not mean you must ignore your limits and call exhaustion holiness. I am not asking you to become a savior. I am asking you to remain available to my love. Let me show you the simple opportunities. The person who needs encouragement, the lonely one who needs to be seen, the family member who needs patience, the friend who needs truth spoken gently, the stranger who needs kindness without being asked to earn it. My beloved child, when you love in small, faithful ways, you become like a stream in a dry place. You may not see how far the water travels. You may not know which route it reaches. You may not hear the testimony that grows later. But I know how to carry one act of mercy farther than you imagined. Remember Ruth. She did not begin with a throne, a crowd, or a great plan. She began with loyalty to Naomi. She chose to stay. She chose to walk with someone grieving. She chose faithfulness in an ordinary road. Yet that small, faithful love became part of a story much larger than Ruth could see. My beloved child, your small love may also be connected to something larger than you can see. Your prayer may strengthen a person who feels weak. Your forgiveness may break a pattern in a family. Your encouragement may help someone take the next step. Your mercy may become the first light someone has seen in a long time. Do not measure love only by immediate results. Some seeds grow quietly. Some words bloom later. Some kindness returns to a person in memory when they need it most. You may not know until eternity how many moments of love I used through you. My beloved child, keep your heart soft. The world may teach you to protect yourself by becoming cold. Pain may tell you to close your hands. Disappointment may say, do not give anymore because people will not appreciate it. But I am teaching you a wiser way. Love with discernment, but do not become hard. Give with humility, but do not give from emptiness. Serve with joy, but return often to my presence to be filled again. Love flowing from me does not need applause. It does not need control. It does not demand repayment before it becomes real. It is free because it comes from the one who first loved you. My beloved child, today there is some small good you can do. Do not overlook it. Do not wait for the grand moment and miss the holy moment in front of you. A gentle word, a sincere prayer, a patient silence, a small act of help, a message sent with love, a burden shared for a little while. Let love move. Let mercy breathe. Let the light within you travel outward. Even the smallest mercy can become a bridge where another weary soul meets my kindness at the right moment. Small acts of love carry great power because I am able to breathe upon them. I am able to multiply what is surrendered. I am able to touch lives through the kindness you thought was too ordinary to matter. And as you continue listening, I will show you that fear can disguise itself as wisdom, because the same heart called to love must also learn to recognize when caution is truly discernment and when it is only fear delaying obedience. My beloved child, I have shown you that small acts of love carry great power. Now I want to guard your heart from something subtle, something that keeps my children standing still while believing they are being wise. Fear can disguise itself as wisdom. Not every hesitation is discernment. Not every delay is obedience. Not every careful explanation comes from peace. Sometimes fear does not arrive shouting. Sometimes it enters quietly dressed in reasonable words. It says, wait a little longer, think about it one more time. Protect yourself from disappointment. Do not move until you feel ready. Do not love until there is no risk. Do not obey until every question has been answered. My beloved child, fear often sounds careful. It can sound responsible. It can sound spiritual. But beneath its voice is a chain, and I do not want you living bound by a chain while calling it wisdom. True wisdom leads you closer to me. Fear pulls you deeper into yourself. True wisdom carries peace even when it asks for courage. Fear carries confusion and calls it protection. True wisdom listens, prays, and then moves when I give light. Fear keeps searching for more proof because it does not truly want to move. My beloved child, I am not asking you to be reckless. I am not asking you to ignore counsel, timing, or prayer. I am not asking you to run ahead of me. Wisdom is precious. Wisdom protects. Wisdom waits. Wisdom tests the spirit, watches the fruit, and refuses impulse. But fear is different. Fear waits because it is afraid to trust. Fear studies the door but never touches the handle. Fear keeps asking for signs after I have already given peace. Fear says it is being careful, but it is really trying to keep you from obedience. My beloved child, you must learn the difference. Ask yourself, does this hesitation bring peace, or does it keep feeding anxiety? Does this delay make your heart more surrendered or more controlled? Does this caution help you hear my voice, or does it make fear louder? Does this waiting carry life, or does it drain the courage I have been placing within you? I will help you answer honestly. My beloved child, remember Moses when I called him at the burning bush. I spoke clearly, yet he looked at his weakness and offered reason after reason why he could not go. He asked who he was, how he would speak, whether people would listen. Some questions sounded reasonable, but underneath them was fear of the assignment. Still, I was patient. I answered. I provided. I reminded him that I would be with him. My beloved child, I am patient with your questions too. But there comes a moment when the answer to fear is not another explanation. It is trust. There comes a moment when I have already said enough for your next step, and continuing to argue with the call only keeps your soul in bondage. Do not let fear make endless questions your hiding place. There are decisions you have delayed not because I withheld direction, but because fear convinced you that certainty must feel perfect before obedience can begin. There are steps you have avoided, not because the time has not come, but because the cost of change feels uncomfortable. There are conversations, releases, beginnings, and acts of faith that your heart already knows, yet fear keeps requesting more time. My beloved child, time is not always the problem. Sometimes trust is. Sometimes the issue is not that the door is unclear, but that your hand is trembling on the handle. Bring that trembling to me. Do not hide it behind spiritual language. Do not dress it up as wisdom if it is really fear. I am gentle enough to receive your trembling, but I love you too much to let trembling become your ruler. My word says that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. My beloved child, a sound mind is not a mind without questions. It is a mind governed by my truth. It is a mind able to notice fear without obeying it. It is a mind that can say, I feel afraid, but fear will not be my Lord. This is freedom. Not pretending you are fearless, but choosing me above the fear. My beloved child, fear often becomes strongest near the doorway of growth. When you are far from change, fear may stay quiet. But when you approach the place where obedience becomes real, fear begins speaking quickly. It reminds you of past wounds. It predicts failure. It brings up every voice that doubted you. It tells you that staying still is safer than stepping forward. But I ask you, safer for what? Safer for comfort, perhaps. Safer for the old pattern, perhaps. But not safer for your calling. Not safer for your healing. Not safer for the person I am forming within you. My beloved child, a boat tied forever to the dock may avoid storms, but it never reaches the waters it was made to cross. A lamp hidden under a basket may avoid wind, but it never gives light to the room. A seed kept in the hand may avoid the darkness of soil, but it never becomes the harvest I intended. Fear protects you from risk by stealing growth. Wisdom protects you from destruction while still leading you into life. That is the difference. Let my spirit show you where fear has been wearing the clothing of wisdom. Let me show you where overthinking has replaced prayer. Let me show you where control has replaced trust. Let me show you where the old wound has been making decisions. Do not be ashamed when you see it. I reveal to heal. I uncover to free. I correct because I love. My beloved child, today I want you to pray with honesty. Say, Father, show me where fear is pretending to be wisdom. Show me where I have delayed what you have already illuminated. Show me where caution is holy and where it has become a cage. I will answer, not to condemn you, to guide you, to loosen your feet, to restore your courage. You do not need to become impulsive. You need to become obedient. You do not need to ignore wisdom. You need to stop allowing fear to counterfeit it. You do not need to rush ahead of me. You need to stop hiding behind delay when my peace has already said, come. My beloved child, fear can disguise itself as wisdom, but my voice will teach you the truth. Stay close to me, and you will learn the difference. Wisdom will make you humble, steady, prayerful, and brave. Fear will make you restless, guarded, and stuck. Choose the path that carries my peace. Choose the step that answers my call. And as you continue listening, I will teach you to move before the fire grows cold, because when I place a holy stirring within your heart, it must be protected through timely obedience, not left unattended until delay dims its light. My beloved child, I have shown you that fear can disguise itself as wisdom. Now I want to speak to the holy stirring I have placed within you. Move before the fire grows cold. There are moments when I awaken something inside you, a conviction, a desire to change, a clear step you know you must take, a soft urgency that does not feel like panic but like life calling you forward. My beloved child, when that fire is from me, do not treat it as something ordinary. Do not admire it for a moment, and then let delay cover it with ashes. Do not say tomorrow again and again until the courage I placed in you becomes buried beneath excuses, distractions, and old fear. I am patient, but I also teach you to recognize timing. There is a time to wait, there is a time to heal, there is a time to listen, and there is also a time to move. My beloved child, wisdom does not mean endless postponement. Sometimes wisdom means protecting the flame while it is alive. Sometimes obedience must answer while the heart is still warm, before the old voices gather again, before fear rebuilds its arguments, before the familiar comfort of delay pulls you back to sleep. You know this feeling. You have felt a moment of clarity and then talked yourself out of it. You have felt peace about a step and then asked for proof until confusion returned. You have felt my spirit stirring you to forgive, begin, release, speak, write, build, pray, or return, and then hesitation slowly cooled the fire. My beloved child, I do not say this to shame you. I say it because I love you, and I want you to stop losing holy momentum to ordinary delay. My word says not to be lazy in zeal, but to be fervent in spirit and serve me. This does not mean living in frantic pressure. It means keeping your heart awake. It means tending the flame of obedience with prayer, humility, and action. A fire that is never fed will fade even if it began brightly. So feed what I have kindled. Feed it with a step. Feed it with surrender. Feed it with a decision that agrees with my voice. My beloved child, when I place a burden of love in your heart, act with tenderness. When I place a warning in your spirit, listen with humility. When I place a dream before you again and again, stop burying it under the fear of failing. When I show you something must change, do not keep praying as though I have said nothing. Prayer is beautiful, but prayer should not become a shelter for disobedience. Seeking counsel is wise, but counsel should not become a way to avoid the step I have already made clear. Waiting can be holy, but waiting is not holy when it becomes hiding. Remember Nehemiah. When he heard of the broken walls of Jerusalem, his heart was pierced. He wept, fasted, prayed, and then he moved. He did not let sorrow remain only as emotion. He carried the burden into action. He asked for favor. He went to the city. He inspected the ruins. He called others to rise and build. My beloved child, that is what holy fire does. It does not only make you feel, it moves you toward faithful rebuilding. There are walls in your life that need rebuilding. There are gates that need to be restored. There are neglected places in your heart that need attention. There are callings, relationships, and acts of obedience that need more than emotion. They need your yes in motion. My beloved child, do not wait until you feel perfectly strong. Nehemiah faced opposition while building. The work did not become easy, simply because it was from me. But the fire in his heart was stronger than the voices trying to stop him. He kept one hand ready for the work and one heart ready for trust. So will you. I will strengthen you as you move. I will give wisdom as you obey. I will provide what the next step requires. I will not ask you to carry tomorrow's burden today, but I do ask you to honor today's light. My beloved child, there are doors that do not remain in the same form forever. There are seasons when grace breathes upon a direction, and if you keep resisting, the heart grows dull. Not because my love disappears, but because repeated delay trains the soul to ignore my whisper. Do not train your soul to ignore me. Do not become comfortable with almost obeying. Do not keep standing near the fire without letting it change how you live. Move before the fire grows cold. This may mean beginning small. Send the message you have delayed. Make the apology. Set the boundary. Start the work. Return to prayer. Leave the old pattern. Choose the honest conversation. Open the notebook. Take the first step toward healing. Do the small good I placed before you. Small obedience protects the flame. Small obedience makes room for greater light. Small obedience tells fear that it is no longer allowed to rule. My beloved child, I am not asking you to rush ahead of me. I am asking you not to lag behind when I am clearly calling. There is a difference. Rushing is driven by anxiety. Timely obedience is guided by peace. Rushing feels frantic. Timely obedience feels steady, even when it trembles. Rushing tries to force a result. Timely obedience offers a faithful step and trusts me with the outcome. Learn this rhythm. Listen. Receive peace. Move. Return to me. Continue. My beloved child, the fire I place within you is not meant to burn you with pressure. It is meant to warm your courage, light your path, and awaken gifts that have slept too long. It is meant to help you rise from the old delay and say, Father, I will not ignore what you have made clear. Do not let the world cool what heaven has lit. Do not let old fear pour water on fresh obedience. Do not let comfort talk you out of calling. I am with you in the movement. I am with you in the first imperfect step. I am with you when your voice trembles but your heart says yes. I am with you when obedience feels small and hidden. I am with you when no one else understands why this matters so deeply to your soul. I will meet you in the doing, not only in the dreaming, and grace will rise beneath your feet as you honor my voice today. My beloved child, move before the fire grows cold. Tend the holy stirring, guard the clear conviction, act on the peace I have given. Let your life answer me while your heart is awake. And as you continue listening, I will show you that pressure means the door is near, because the moment you begin moving toward what I have called you into, the weight you feel may become the very sign that transition is closer than you. I think, my beloved child, I have told you to move before the fire grows cold. Now I want you to understand the weight that rises when you begin moving. Pressure means the door is near. Do not be surprised by the pressure. Do not immediately call it failure. Do not assume that resistance means you have heard me wrong. Many times when you begin stepping toward what I have placed before you, the weight around you seems to increase. Old doubts become louder. Circumstances feel tighter. People may misunderstand. Your own heart may tremble. You may wonder why obedience feels harder instead of easier. My beloved child, listen carefully. Pressure does not always mean the door is closed. Sometimes pressure gathers because you are standing near transition. Sometimes the air feels heavier because the old season is losing its hold. Sometimes the final steps before breakthrough feel the most difficult because fear knows it can no longer keep you asleep if you keep walking. You have seen this in nature. The night is often coldest before morning. The ground must split before the seed can rise. The child presses through a narrow place before birth brings new life. The olive must be pressed before oil flows. My beloved child, I do not use these images to make your pain seem small. I use them to show you that pressure can serve a holy purpose. What feels tight may not be a tomb. It may be a passage. What feels heavy may not be destruction. It may be the final weight pushing you through what fear said you could never cross. I am with you in that pressure. I am not watching from far away. I am not measuring how long you can endure alone. I am close, and my hand has not left your life. My word says that when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you walk through the fire, you will not be consumed. Notice, my beloved child, I do not say you will never pass through deep water. I say you will not pass through it without me. I do not say you will never feel heat. I say the flame will not have permission to destroy what I have marked for life. So do not let pressure convince you that I am absent. Let pressure draw you nearer. Let pressure make your prayers honest. Let pressure teach you to lean on me more deeply than you leaned on your own strength. Remember the people of Israel before the Red Sea. In front of them was water. Behind them was the army that once held them captive. From every natural angle it looked like an ending. They could not go back, and they could not see a way forward. But my beloved child, what looked like a dead end became the place where I opened a path no human hand could create. The pressure was real. The fear was real. The danger was real. But my power was more real. If they had judged the moment only by what their eyes saw, they would have believed the story was finished. But I was not finished. I used the very place that looked impossible to reveal that I am able to make a road through what no one else can move. So it is with you. The pressure you feel may be standing at the edge of a road I am about to open. The weight that makes you weep may be near the place where my faithfulness will become visible. The struggle that makes you question your strength may be teaching you that my strength is enough. My beloved child, I know you want relief. I hear the prayer beneath your exhaustion. I know the thought that says, Father, how much longer? I do not condemn that question. Bring it to me, but do not let weariness make you turn back at the edge of the door. Many souls surrender too soon because they mistake pressure for defeat. They stop praying one step before peace returns. They stop obeying one step before the door opens. They stop believing because the final stretch feels heavier than the beginning. But I am telling you now, do not turn back. Not because you are strong in yourself, because I am holding you, because I have brought you too far to abandon you at the threshold. Because the same mercy that carried you through hidden preparation will carry you through this pressure too. My beloved child, pressure reveals what has been holding your heart. When life becomes tight, what is hidden rises. Fear rises, control rises, old wounds rise, impatience rises, pride rises. But this is not always a sign of failure. It can be my mercy uncovering what can no longer come with you. Let me remove it. Let me purify your trust. Let me teach you not to rely on the old ways of surviving. A branch that is being pruned may think it is being diminished, but the gardener is preparing greater fruit. A vessel being shaped on the wheel may feel the pressure of the potter's hands, but those hands are not against the clay. They are forming it for use. My beloved child, I am not against you in this pressure. I am forming you. I am strengthening you. I am clearing what would have weakened you after the door opened. You asked for the new season, and I am making you ready to stand in it. Do not hate the process that is making you stable. Do not curse the pressure that is teaching your roots to go deeper. Do not assume that discomfort means I have lost control. My beloved child, when pressure rises, slow down and return to me. Do not run into panic. Do not speak every fear as truth. Do not let exhaustion make decisions that peace would never make. Come close, breathe, pray. Ask me for the next faithful step, not the whole plan. The next step, not every answer. The next act of trust, not complete relief. The strength to keep walking with me today. I will give it. I will meet you there. I will place enough grace beneath your feet. Pressure means the door is near, my beloved child. Not every time and not in every way you expect, but often the weight you feel is the sound of transition drawing close. Stand firm in me. Let patience finish its work. Keep your heart soft. Keep your yes alive. The door is nearer than fear wants you to believe. Do not fear the nearness of change. The door may not open the way you imagined, but it will open under my authority. What I prepared cannot be canceled by the trembling of your heart when you remain surrendered to me with trust today and every step ahead. And as you continue listening, I will show you that pressure is redirecting you toward a wider path, because some of the weight you have felt has been my loving way of moving you out of narrow places and into the spacious road I prepared. My beloved child, I have shown you that pressure can mean the door is near. I want you to understand another kindness hidden inside what you carry. pressure is redirecting you toward a wider path. You thought the pressure was only blocking you. You thought it was only making life harder. You thought it was only closing space around your heart. But my beloved child, not every narrow place is meant to hold you forever. Sometimes what feels like a wall is really my hand turning you. Sometimes what feels like loss is me removing you from a road that would have kept your spirit small. Sometimes what feels like disappointment is the beginning of redirection. I know you prefer clear signs. I know you would rather have the road open gently. But there are times when the old path is so familiar that you would not leave it unless pressure made staying more painful than moving. There are places you kept calling safe because you knew how to survive there. Yet survival is not the same as fullness. Familiar is not the same as freedom. My beloved child, I am not leading you into a smaller life. I am leading you toward spaciousness. I am leading you toward breath. I am leading you toward a place where your heart can stand upright again. My word says I brought you into a spacious place because I delighted in you. Hear that. I do not delight in seeing you crushed. I delight in leading you out of what has confined you. I delight in opening room around your soul. I delight in guiding you where fear no longer has to be the walls of your world. The pressure has been pressing against those walls, not to punish you, to show you they were walls. You may have adjusted to limits I never designed for you. You may have accepted patterns that drained your peace. You may have remained in places where your voice grew quiet, your hope grew thin, and your prayers became smaller. I saw it, my beloved child. I saw how you tried to make the narrow place livable. I saw how you learned to call confinement wisdom because leaving seemed too uncertain. But I am wiser than your fear. I am kinder than your comfort zone. I am more faithful than the road that held you back. Remember Joseph. He was pushed out of the life he knew in ways that seemed cruel and confusing. Betrayal carried him far from home. False accusation led him into prison. Forgotten promises made the road feel delayed. Yet none of those closed places had the final word. I was redirecting him toward a wider purpose than he could have imagined. What looked like being trapped became preparation. What looked like being forgotten became positioning. What looked like pressure became the path toward saving many lives. My beloved child, I can do the same with you. I can use what feels like a blocked road to move you toward a field you would never have entered. I can use a closed opportunity to protect you from a hidden burden. I can use a painful ending to clear space for something cleaner. I can use discomfort to awaken courage that comfort kept asleep. Do not worship the path that ended. Do not cling to what I am releasing. Do not keep asking me to reopen what my mercy has closed. Some doors closed because they were never meant to carry your future. Some relationships shifted because they could not walk with the healing I am forming in you. Some plans fell apart because they were built on fear, approval, or timing that was not mine. Some spaces became too tight because you are growing beyond them. My beloved child, growth often feels like pressure before it feels like freedom. A child outgrows old clothing before new garments feel familiar. A river pressed between rocks cuts a new course toward open land. A young eagle must leave the nest to discover the strength of its wings. Leaving can feel terrifying, but remaining forever would be a greater loss. So when pressure pushes you, do not panic. Pause and ask me, Father, where are you redirecting me? Ask not only, why is this happening? Ask, what path are you showing me now? Ask not only, what am I losing? Ask, what space are you creating for your will? My beloved child, I will not always answer with a full explanation, but I will guide you with peace. I may show you the next open gate. I may close what keeps pulling you backward. I may give you courage to release what once felt necessary. I may place a holy restlessness in you that refuses to settle for what no longer carries life. Do not ignore that restlessness. Bring it to me. Let me purify it. Let me separate holy redirection from mere frustration. Not all discomfort means you must leave immediately. Sometimes discomfort teaches patience. Sometimes it reveals a wound that needs healing. Sometimes it asks you to grow where you are. But when my peace keeps lifting from the old place, and my voice keeps drawing you toward surrender, do not harden your heart. My beloved child, I do not lead by panic. I lead by truth. I do not force by terror. I guide by love. Even when pressure is strong, my presence remains steady. If you stay close to me, you will learn when to endure and when to move, when to wait and when to step forward, when to repair, and when to release. There is no shame in being redirected. There is no failure in leaving a road I no longer bless. There is no defeat in discovering that my plan is wider than the plan you were afraid to surrender. My beloved child, let the pressure teach you to loosen your grip. The path ahead may look unfamiliar, but I am not unfamiliar. The territory may be new, but my faithfulness is not new. The door may surprise you, but my love has been preparing you. I have not brought you this far to leave you standing in confusion. I am widening your way. I am enlarging your capacity. I am leading you from a narrow room into a place where your prayers can breathe again, your gifts can rise again, and your heart can follow me without being chained to yesterday. Trust me in the redirection. Trust me when the old road loses peace. Trust me when a closed door protects you. Trust me when pressure turns your face toward an unknown path. Pressure is redirecting you toward a wider path, my beloved child, because I refuse to let fear name the borders of your future. I am the one who leads you out. I am the one who makes room. I am the one who goes before you. And as you continue listening, I will remind you that my mark upon you cannot be erased, because the wider path ahead must be walked from the deep truth that you are known, chosen, loved, and held by me. My beloved child, I have shown you that pressure is redirecting you toward a wider path. Now I want to speak to the deepest truth beneath your steps. My mark upon you cannot be erased. Before people knew your name, I knew you. Before anyone applauded you, I loved you. Before failure touched your story, my mercy had already reached for you. Before you learned how to prove yourself, you already belonged to me. My beloved child, the world has tried to write many names over your life. It has called you late, weak, rejected, forgotten, difficult, unworthy, too wounded, too ordinary, too far behind. Pain has also tried to name you. Mistakes have tried to name you. Rejection has tried to name you. Seasons of silence have tried to convince you that my hand has lifted from your life. But no voice has authority to erase what I have written. My mark remains. My love remains. My calling remains. My beloved child, I do not mark you with the fragile ink of human approval. I mark you with everlasting love. Human approval changes. Circumstances change. Feelings change. People misunderstand you, leave you, praise you, criticize you, or forget you. But what I place upon your soul does not fade because the weather of life becomes harsh. My word says that I have called you by name and you are mine. Receive that slowly. You are not mine only when you feel strong. You are not mine only when your prayers sound confident. You are not mine only when your path looks successful. You are mine in weakness, in growth, in repentance, in waiting, in rebuilding, and in the quiet places no one else sees. My beloved child, you have sometimes looked at your own life and wondered if the mark was gone. You remembered the choices you regret. You remembered the years that felt wasted. You remembered times when your faith felt faint and your heart felt divided. Then shame whispered that perhaps I had withdrawn my purpose from you. Shame lies. Conviction leads you home. Shame tells you to hide. My spirit calls you to return. Shame says you are no longer wanted. My mercy says, come closer, my beloved child. Remember the prodigal son. He returned with rehearsed words, believing he might only be received as a servant. But the father saw him while he was still far away and ran toward him with compassion. The son had carried shame, hunger, and the smell of the far country, but the father's love recognized him before he could explain himself. So it is with you. When you return, I do not look at you as a stranger. I see my child. I see the one I have loved, through wandering, through confusion, through brokenness, through every season that tried to make you forget your home. My mark upon you cannot be erased by distance. It cannot be erased by delay. It cannot be erased by human rejection. It cannot be erased by the opinions of those who never understood what I was forming in you. My beloved child, many people live exhausted because they are trying to earn a name I have already given them. They chase recognition because they do not know they are already seen. They fear rejection because they do not know they are held. They perform without rest because they do not know they are loved before they produce. I am calling you out of that exhaustion. Stop living like an orphan before a father who has called you mine. Stop begging the world to confirm what heaven has already spoken. Stop measuring your worth by doors that closed people who left or seasons that seemed quiet. You are marked by me, not with pride, not with superiority, not so you can look down on others. You are marked so you can walk in peace, humility, and courage. My beloved child, my mark is also protection. Not protection from every challenge, but protection over the deepest truth of who you are. The storm may shake the branches, but it cannot change the root when the root is planted in. My love, fire may test the vessel, but it cannot destroy what I am refining for, my purpose. People may try to reduce you to one chapter, but I see the whole story. I know the beginning, I know the hidden middle, I know the harvest I am preparing. Remember Jacob at the river. He entered the night carrying fear of his past and uncertainty about his future. He wrestled through darkness and he did not leave unchanged. He walked away with a new name and a visible reminder that the struggle had touched him, but it had not destroyed him. The night became a place of transformation. My beloved child, some of your dark nights have done the same. They did not erase my mark. They pressed it deeper into your soul. The struggle taught you dependence. The weakness taught you prayer. The loneliness taught you that my presence can meet you where human comfort cannot reach. The wound became a place where my mercy began writing more deeply. Do not despise the mark formed through tears. Do not hide the wisdom gained through pain. Do not assume the limp means defeat. Sometimes the limp is proof that you met me in the night and survived by grace. My beloved child, when you know you are marked by me, you can walk differently. You do not have to panic when people misunderstand you. You do not have to collapse when a door closes. You do not have to prove your value through constant striving. You do not have to let old labels become your identity again. You can stand, you can breathe, you can obey. You can move forward with quiet dignity because your life is not held together by human permission. It is held by my hand. My beloved child, let this truth settle into the deepest room of your heart. You are known. You are chosen. You are loved. You are held. You are not an accident wandering through time. You are not a forgotten soul trying to make heaven notice. Heaven has known your name from the beginning. I placed my mark upon you with love. I keep my mark upon you with faithfulness. I will fulfill my purpose in you with patience. So lift your head, not because you have no weakness, but because weakness does not cancel belonging. Not because you have no scars, but because scars do not erase calling. Not because you understand everything, but because the one who understands everything has called you mine. My mark upon you cannot be erased. Walk the wider path from that truth. Let it become your courage when fear returns. Let it become your rest when striving rises. Let it become your answer when shame speaks. And as you continue listening, I will show you that hidden seasons were never wasted because the child marked by my love is often prepared in quiet places before the light of purpose becomes visible in the season I have appointed for you. My beloved child, I have reminded you that my mark upon you cannot be erased. Now I want you to look again at the quiet seasons you thought had no purpose. Hidden seasons were never wasted. I saw the days when no one noticed your effort. I saw the prayers spoken in rooms where no one applauded. I saw the tears you wiped away before stepping back into your responsibilities. I saw the faithfulness that looked ordinary to people, but precious to me. My beloved child, do not measure a season by how visible it was. Some of my deepest work happens where the world cannot look. A root grows underground before a tree gives shade. A pearl forms in hidden depth before it ever reaches the light. Bread rises in stillness before it is placed on the table. What is hidden is not always inactive. You thought nothing was happening. I was forming you. You thought you were being overlooked. I was protecting what was still tender. You thought the quiet meant delay. I was building depth that noise could never produce. My beloved child, hiddenness is not the same as abandonment. There is a hiddenness that protects. There is a hiddenness that heals. There is a hiddenness that strengthens the soul so it will not collapse when the visible season arrives. I do not hide you to forget you. I hide you to prepare what is precious. If I placed you in the open too soon, the wrong voices might have shaped you. If I lifted you before your roots were deep, praise could have distracted you, and criticism could have broken you. If I gave you the larger assignment before your heart was steady, the blessing itself could have become too heavy. So I taught you in quiet places. I trained your heart without an audience. I strengthened your obedience when no one could reward you. I taught you to seek my face, not only the approval of people. My word says that the Father who sees in secret will reward openly. My beloved child, secret faithfulness is never invisible to me. The world may miss it. Friends may not understand it. Even you may forget how much you have endured with quiet trust. But I have seen every hidden yes. I saw when you chose integrity, though compromise would have been easier. I saw when you kept loving though your own heart was tired. I saw when you prayed for someone who never knew. I saw when you stayed faithful in a small responsibility that felt beneath your hopes. These hidden choices have been shaping you. Remember David in the fields with the sheep. Before he stood before Goliath, before songs were sung about his victories, before he carried any public honor, he was in the pasture. He watched sheep. He faced danger when few people saw. He sang to me in lonely places. He learned courage in private before courage was required in public. My beloved child, the pasture was not wasted. The lion was not wasted. The bear was not wasted. The lonely songs were not wasted. Those hidden moments trained the heart of a king. When the public battle came, David did not suddenly become brave. He carried into that moment the courage formed where only I had been watching. So it is with you. The hidden season has been training your hands. It has been deepening your discernment. It has been softening your pride. It has been teaching you how to stand when no one claps, how to pray when answers are slow, how to continue when feelings are thin. Do not despise that training. My beloved child, many people want the fruit but resist the roots. They want the harvest but dislike the soil. They want the open door but struggle with the quiet preparation before it. But lasting things require hidden growth. A house with a shallow foundation may rise quickly, but it cannot endure strong winds. I am not building your life for a moment of attention. I am building you for endurance, love, wisdom, and purpose. That is why the hidden season took time. That is why I slowed certain things. That is why I allowed some doors to remain closed while I worked within you. Not to punish you, to establish you, to make your soul stable enough for what is coming. My beloved child, hidden seasons also reveal motives. When no one is watching, love becomes pure. When no one praises, obedience becomes real. When no one notices, service becomes an offering instead of a performance. I have used the quiet to free you from the need to be seen before you are faithful. This freedom is precious. It means you can serve without being controlled by applause. It means you can love without needing every kindness returned. It means you can obey because my voice is enough. My beloved child, I know hidden seasons can feel lonely. I know you have wondered whether your life was passing by while others seem to be stepping into their moments. I know the ache of feeling unseen, but you were not unseen. You were sheltered. You were being watered in secret. You were being taught how to carry peace in the absence of public recognition. And when the time is right, what I formed in secret will not remain buried forever. Roots will become strength. Seeds will become fruit. Tears will become compassion. Waiting will become wisdom. Small obedience will become a steady path. My beloved child, do not rush to escape hiddenness before its work is complete. Let patience do what speed cannot. Let humility deepen. Let trust settle. Let me finish what I am forming beneath the surface. You are not late. You are being prepared in the timing of love. One day you will see that the hidden season held gifts you could not name while living inside it. It taught you to hear me. It protected you from shallow success. It gave you language for hurting people. It made your prayers honest. It made your heart more gentle and more discerning. Nothing surrendered to me is wasted. Not the waiting, not the small beginnings, not the overlooked labor, not the quiet tears, not the faithful steps no one recorded. I also kept records heaven never lost. The quiet mornings when you chose prayer before complaint. The evenings when you released resentment back into my hands. The moments when you forgave without an audience, gave without being thanked, and continued believing while the visible ground still looked unchanged. These things became holy stones within your story. They will support the steps I am asking you to take now. They will also remind you that I was faithful in every hidden place. Hidden seasons were never wasted, my beloved child. They were rooms of preparation, gardens of unseen growth, and places where my hand shaped you with patient care. And as you continue listening, I will show you that obedience is the key in your hand, because the one prepared in hidden places must now learn to let trust become action when I open the door. My beloved child, I have shown you that hidden seasons were never wasted. Now I want to place before you the next truth your heart must carry. Obedience is the key in your hand. You have prayed for open doors. You have asked for direction. You have waited for clarity. You have wondered when the next season would finally begin. But my beloved child, there are moments when the door is already before you, and what remains is not another sign from heaven, but a step of obedience from your heart. I have not hidden every key far beyond your reach. Sometimes the key is very near. It is the yes you have delayed. It is the surrender you have resisted. It is the honest action you already know is right. Obedience is love becoming movement. Obedience is trust leaving the safety of thought and entering the road of action. Obedience is the moment your life answers. My voice, not only your emotions. My beloved child, I know obedience can feel frightening. It asks you to move while questions remain. It asks you to release control when your hands still want to hold tightly. It asks you to forgive, begin, speak, stop, return, give, leave, or build before every fear has become silent. But obedience is not meant to crush you. It is meant to open what fear has kept closed. My word says, if you love me, keep my commandments. I do not speak this as a cold demand. I speak it as an invitation into closeness. Obedience is not a payment you make to earn my love. Obedience is the way love learns to walk with me. It is the fruit of a heart that says, Father, I trust you more than I trust my fear. My beloved child, many people want the peace of obedience without taking the step of obedience. They want the door opened while their feet remain planted in the same place. They want courage without surrender. They want freedom without releasing the chain. They want harvest without placing the seed into the ground. But I am teaching you something deeper. The key must be used. A key held in the hand does not open the door until it is placed in the lock and turned. So it is with truth. Truth you only admire will comfort you for a moment. Truth you obey will change your life. My beloved child, remember Abraham. I called him to leave the familiar land of his fathers and go toward a place he had not yet seen. He did not receive every detail before he moved. He did not know every turn of the road, yet he trusted the voice that called him. His obedience became a doorway through which generations would be blessed. Do you see what can begin with one yes? Do you see how far obedience can travel? Do you see why fear fights so hard to keep you still? My beloved child, your obedience may look small today, but in my hands it can carry more meaning than you understand. A quiet yes may open a long-sealed room in your heart. A humble apology may begin healing in a family. A boundary spoken with love may stop an old pattern. A decision to return to prayer may awaken faith that had grown tired. A step toward the calling I placed in you may become the first stone in a road others will one day walk. Do not call it small if I am asking for it. Do not call it ordinary if my peace is upon it. Do not delay it simply because it does not look dramatic. My beloved child, obedience does not always feel powerful at first. Sometimes it feels like trembling. Sometimes it feels like taking one breath and doing the next right thing. Sometimes it feels like walking into a room with a quiet heart, knowing you cannot control the outcome, but choosing faithfulness anyway. I receive that. I honor that. I meet you there. There are also moments when obedience means stopping what drains your spirit, stopping words that wound, stopping the return to an old habit, stopping the agreement with shame, stopping the attempt to force doors I did not open. Obedience is not only movement forward, sometimes it is holy restraint, a sacred no, a clean release, a refusal to keep feeding what is not from me. My beloved child, let me guide both your yes and your no. A yes without me can become striving. A no without me can become fear. But a yes guided by me opens life. A no guided by me protects life. This is why you must stay close. Obedience is not mechanical, it is relational. It flows from listening, trusting, and walking with me. I am not asking you to become harsh with yourself. I am asking you to become responsive to my voice. When I say forgive, do not keep nursing bitterness. When I say wait, do not force the door. When I say speak, do not hide behind silence. When I say rest, do not worship exhaustion. When I say come, do not remain at a distance. My beloved child, delayed obedience often becomes heavier than obedience itself. The thing you keep avoiding begins to occupy more space in your mind than the step would have required. Fear grows while action waits. Doubt multiplies while surrender is postponed. But when you obey, even with trembling, something within you becomes lighter. The soul was not created to carry endless resistance against my voice. Let the resistance end. Let the yes rise. Let the key turn. My beloved child, I do not promise that obedience will make every path instantly easy. Abraham still traveled. Moses still faced Pharaoh. Esther still approached the king. Mary still carried a mystery others could misunderstand. But obedience placed each of them inside the stream of my purpose, and there, my grace met them. It will meet you too. Grace will meet you in the conversation. Grace will meet you in the release. Grace will meet you in the beginning. Grace will meet you in the step you have feared. My beloved child, I also see the hidden battle before obedience. I see the moment your heart leans toward me, then fear pulls it back. I see you wondering whether you will have enough strength after you say yes. Hear me gently. I do not ask for obedience and then leave you empty. The strength often appears after the step because obedience makes room for grace to rise beneath your feet. You move and I meet you with power you did not possess yet. Obedience is the key in your hand, not because you control the door, but because I have invited your trust to participate in what I am opening. Use the key with humility. Turn it with faith. Walk through with me. And as you continue listening, I will show you that small steps open great miracles, because the obedient heart soon discovers that I can breathe upon one simple act and multiply it far beyond what human eyes expected. My beloved child, I have shown you that obedience is the key in your hand. Now I want you to understand why the step in front of you matters. Small steps open great miracles. You may be waiting for something large, a dramatic sign, a powerful feeling, a moment when courage fills every part of you, a perfect door with no uncertainty around it. But my beloved child, many of my greatest works begin with something small placed into my hands. A simple yes, a quiet prayer, a humble beginning, a step taken while the heart still trembles. A little obedience that looks ordinary to people but becomes sacred when it answers my voice. Do not despise the small step. Do not call it meaningless. I often hide large beginnings inside small acts of trust. My beloved child, look at what is in your hand right now. You may think it is not enough. You may think your strength is too limited, your wisdom too incomplete, your resources too small, your influence too quiet. But I am not asking you to bring me abundance before I move. I am asking you to bring me willingness. A willing heart gives me room. A surrendered step gives me access. A small act of faith opens space for my power to work. My word says that nothing is impossible with me. Hear this carefully. It does not mean you will never feel limited. It means your limitation is not the end of the story when surrendered to my hands. Remember Moses standing before the sea with a staff in his hand. The staff looked ordinary, held by a man who knew his own weakness. Yet when I told him to lift it, that ordinary staff became part of a miracle no human strength could perform. The waters opened and a way appeared where there had been no way. My beloved child, what looks ordinary in your hands can become powerful in mine. Your voice, your time, your apology, your prayer, your little beginning, your decision to obey. I am not limited by the size of what you bring. I look at the surrender within it. My beloved child, small steps open great miracles because obedience creates movement. Fear keeps life frozen. Obedience lets grace flow. A closed hand cannot receive plant or pour. An open hand becomes a place where my provision can begin multiplying. Think of the widow who had only a little oil. In natural sight, it was almost nothing. But when she followed the instruction to gather vessels and pour, the oil continued. The miracle came while she was pouring, not while she was only imagining. Her small act of obedience became the channel through which provision entered her house. So it is with you. Begin pouring what I placed in you. Begin using the grace you have. Begin walking in the light already given. Do not wait until every vessel is filled before you obey. Obey and watch me fill what obedience makes ready. My beloved child, you often think the miracle must appear before the step. But many times the step is the place where the miracle begins. The courage comes while you are walking. The clarity grows while you are obeying. The peace strengthens while you are moving with me. The door opens while your hand is reaching toward it. This is why I keep calling you out of delay. Not because I am impatient with your weakness, because I know what is waiting on the other side of your yes. There is healing waiting on the other side of a conversation. There is freedom waiting on the other side of release. There is purpose waiting on the other side of beginning. There is peace waiting on the other side of surrender. My beloved child, do not make the first step heavier than it is. I am not asking you to carry the whole future in one day. I am asking you to respond faithfully to what I have placed before you now. The next step may be small, but it is not empty. It carries agreement with heaven. When you forgive, chains begin to loosen. When you speak truth with love, confusion begins to clear. When you return to prayer, your spirit begins to breathe. When you start the work, hidden gifts begin to awaken. When you give what you can, multiplication enters what looked insufficient. My beloved child, remember the servants at the wedding in Cana. They did not create the wine. They filled the water jars. Their obedience was simple, practical, and unseen by many. Yet in that quiet act, they participated in a miracle. Water became wine and joy was restored at the feast. I can still use simple obedience to restore joy. I can still use ordinary steps to reveal extraordinary grace. I can still take what looks plain and transform it into something that carries my glory. My beloved child, this is why you must stop waiting to feel important before you obey. Importance in my kingdom is not measured by applause. It is measured by faithfulness. The small thing I ask of you today may be connected to doors you cannot yet see, people you cannot yet imagine, and healing that will unfold beyond your awareness. Your yes may encourage someone else to rise. Your prayer may cover a person in danger. Your kindness may become the sign of my love someone desperately needed. Your beginning may become a path for others. Do not underestimate my ability to multiply hidden faithfulness. My beloved child, small steps also protect your faith from growing cold. Each act of obedience strengthens the next one. Like footsteps making a path through a field, your repeated yes creates a way for your soul to keep following me. You become less ruled by fear because you have practiced trusting me. You become more sensitive to my voice because you have responded when I spoke. This is how faith grows, not only by hearing, by walking, not only by feeling, by obeying, not only by dreaming, by placing one foot in front of the other with me. My beloved child, take the small step, not to prove yourself, not to force a miracle, not to control the outcome. Take it because I am worthy of your trust. Take it because love answers. Take it because I have placed light before you. Then leave the multiplication to me. Let me decide how far the seed travels. Let me decide how the water becomes wine. Let me decide how the little becomes enough. Let me decide how your small obedience becomes part of a greater story. Small steps open great miracles, my beloved child, because I breathe upon what is surrendered. What you place in my hands is never wasted. What you obey in secret is never unseen. What you begin in faith can become more than your heart knows. And as you continue listening, I will show you that some doors close to protect your future, because the same hand that multiplies small obedience also shuts paths that would have wounded what I am carefully preparing within you. My beloved child, I have shown you that small steps open great miracles. Now I want you to understand the doors that did not open, the paths that ended, and the prayers that seemed unanswered. Some doors close to protect your future. I know those closed doors hurt. I know you stood before them longer than people realized. I know you knocked with hope, waited with patience, and wondered why the handle never turned. I know the disappointment that came when something you wanted slipped away. A relationship changed, an opportunity disappeared, a plan collapsed, a voice became silent, a place you thought would welcome you did not open. My beloved child, you called it loss, and I saw the tears beneath that word. You called it rejection, and I saw how deeply it touched the tender places in your heart. You called it failure, and I saw how shame tried to attach itself to the moment. But listen to me with a quiet heart. Not every closed door is punishment. Not every ending is abandonment. Not every withheld thing is my refusal to love you. Some doors closed because I saw what stood behind them. You saw the entrance. I saw the whole road. You saw what looked beautiful at the beginning. I saw what it would cost your peace later. You saw the desire of your heart in that moment. I saw the future I am guarding with wisdom deeper than your understanding. My beloved child, A shepherd does not block the sheep from a cliff because he dislikes the sheep. He blocks the way because he sees danger the sheep cannot see. A loving parent does not remove every sharp thing from a child because love is cruel. Love protects what innocence does not yet understand. So it has been with you. There were doors I closed because they would have drained the life I am restoring. There were connections I allowed to fade because they would have pulled you from my peace. There were opportunities I did not bless because success in that place would have wounded your soul. There were delays that shielded you from timing not yet ready. My beloved child, I know it is hard to thank me for protection that first felt like disappointment. It is hard to bless the door that closed when you prayed for it to open. It is hard to believe that my hand was kind when your heart felt denied. But one day you will see more clearly. You will look back and say, Father, you were guarding me there. You will understand why the door stayed shut. You will recognize the mercy hidden inside what did not happen. You will see that I was not keeping good from you. I was keeping harm from taking root in your future. Remember Paul when he desired to go one way, but my spirit did not permit him. The closed direction was not a rejection of his calling. It was redirection toward the place where the message needed to go. My beloved child, sometimes I close a path, not because your desire is evil, but because my purpose is wider than the road you chose. Trust my redirection. Trust my restraint. Trust my no when you do not yet understand the yes I am preparing. My beloved child, closed doors also reveal what your heart has been leaning on. When something is taken from your reach, you discover whether your peace was resting on me or on that outcome. When a person leaves, you discover whether your identity was hidden in their approval. When a plan fails, you discover whether your hope depended on your control. I do not reveal this to shame you. I reveal it to free you. If your peace depends on one door, that door has become too powerful in your heart. I am teaching you to place your life back in my hands, not in the hands of one opportunity, one person, one result, or one dream. My beloved child, some closed doors are answers to prayers you did not know how to pray. You asked for blessing, and I closed what would have looked like blessing but carried sorrow. You asked for peace, and I removed what would have kept your spirit restless. You asked for purpose, and I stopped you from entering a path that would have distracted you from your true assignment. I know this is not easy. I do not ask you to pretend it did not hurt. Bring me the disappointment. Bring me the questions. Bring me the part of you that still wonders why. I will not condemn your grief. I will sit with you in it. I will help you release what you could not understand. I will teach your heart to trust that my protection can wear the face of a closed door. My beloved child, do not keep standing before what I have closed, demanding that it become the place of your future. Do not spend your strength trying to force what my wisdom has sealed. Do not let longing make you ignore peace. Do not let memory turn a closed door into an idol. Bless what was good, grieve what was painful, release what is finished, then turn toward me. There is life beyond that door. There is a path you have not yet seen. There is a provision your disappointment could not imagine. There is a future that needs you free from what would have held you captive. My beloved child, when I close a door, I do not close my heart. When I redirect you, I do not reject you. When I remove something, I do not empty your life. I make room for what belongs. I clear space for what carries my peace. I protect the seed of purpose growing within you from soil that would have poisoned its roots. Do not be afraid of my protection. Do not resent my wisdom. Do not call my mercy cruel because it did not follow your preferred plan. My word says that all things work together for good for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. This does not mean every closed door felt good. It means I am able to gather even the disappointment, even the delay, even the ending, and weave it into a greater mercy. My beloved child, let the closed doors teach you trust. Let them train your heart to follow me rather than one outcome. Let them loosen your grip on what was never meant to carry your future. Some doors closed to protect your future because I saw what you could not see and loved you enough to guide you another way. The path ahead may feel unfamiliar, but it is not empty. My hand is already there, preparing peace, courage, provision, and a place where your soul can breathe with me. And as you continue listening, I will call you to step into the promise I prepared for you, because the doors I closed were never meant to leave you empty, but to lead you toward the door that carries my life. My beloved child, I have shown you that some doors close to protect your future. I want you to turn from what is finished and look at what I prepared. Step into the promise I prepared for you. Do not keep standing in the hallway of disappointment. Do not keep holding the handle of a door I have closed. Do not keep asking why the former road ended while the new road waits before you. My beloved child, I did not close doors to leave you empty. I closed them to lead you. I did not remove certain things to punish your heart. I removed them so your hands could be free enough to receive what belongs to the season ahead. There is a promise before you, not a fantasy built by fear, not a dream shaped only by human desire, not a place where every challenge disappears. A promise prepared by my wisdom, guarded by my timing, and opened through my faithfulness. My beloved child, step toward it with humility. Step toward it with prayer. Step toward it with the courage of one who knows that I have gone before them. You do not need to rush like someone afraid the door will vanish. You do not need to drag the promise toward yourself by force. You need to walk with me one step at a time. My word says that I go before you and make the crooked places straight. Hear that. I do not send you into the promise without my presence. I do not call you forward and then abandon you at a hill. I go before you, and I also walk beside you. This is why you can breathe. This is why you can release panic. This is why you can stop living like everything depends on your strength. My beloved child, the promise I prepared for you is not only about what you will receive, it is also about who you are becoming. If you enter the promise with the old fear still ruling your heart, the promise will feel like pressure. If you enter with old shame still naming you, you may not recognize the gift. If you enter with old control still guiding your steps, you may try to manage what must be carried by trust. So I prepared you first. Through waiting, through hidden seasons, through closed doors, through pressure, through small steps, through obedience, through the light that kept calling you forward, nothing was wasted. Every season has been part of the journey toward this moment. The tears taught tenderness. The delays taught patience. The pressure taught dependence. The closed doors taught trust. The small acts of obedience taught your feet how to follow my voice. My beloved child, remember Joshua when the people finally entered the land I had promised. Their wilderness years had not been meaningless. The manna, the cloud, the fire, the battles, the waiting, the crossing, all of it shaped them for the land ahead. The promise was real, but they still had to step into it with faith. So it is with you. The promise is not entered only by emotion. It is entered by trust. It is entered by obedience. It is entered when your life says yes to what your spirit has already heard. My beloved child, do not expect the promise to look exactly like your imagination. Sometimes I fulfill my word in ways that surprise you. You may have pictured one door, and I may open another. You may have expected one kind of blessing, and I may bring something deeper. You may have asked for relief, and I may give you strength, purpose, peace, and a future wider than your request. Trust my form of fulfillment. Trust my way of answering. Trust my timing when it arrives differently than you planned. My beloved child, stepping into the promise also means leaving behind the identity of the wounded traveler. Yes, you walked through pain. Yes, you waited. Yes, some things ended. Yes, you had seasons where your faith felt thin. I saw all of it. I honored every tear. But you are not meant to live forever as someone defined by what happened behind you. You are my child. You are marked by my love. You are being led into life. Let the old story become testimony, not prison. Let the scar become wisdom, not identity. Let the memory become proof of my faithfulness, not a chain around your future. My beloved child, step into the promise with open hands. Do not carry bitterness into the new place. Do not carry resentment against what closed. Do not carry fear as though it has permission to sit beside you and interpret the future. Let me cleanse your hands before you receive. Let me steady your heart before you build. Let me teach you to walk lightly, not because the promise is small, but because you no longer need to carry what I have already taken from you. There will be new responsibilities in the promise, new opportunities, new relationships, new assignments, new places where faith must keep growing. I am not calling you into a life without need for me. I am calling you into a deeper walk with me. The promise is not the end of dependence. It is a new place where dependence becomes joyful, steady, and mature. My beloved child, do not fear your own readiness. I know what I have formed in you. I know the strength that grew while you thought you were surviving. I know the wisdom that came through hidden battles. I know the courage that has been quietly rising beneath your trembling. You are not entering alone. I am with you. My peace is within you. My hand is upon you. Step into the promise I prepared for you. Step out of endless rehearsal and into obedient living. Step out of regret and into gratitude. Step out of fear and into the quiet confidence that my word over your life still stands. Today, let your heart answer me, not with perfect certainty, with trust, not with flawless strength, with surrender, not with loud confidence, with a sincere yes. My beloved child, this is the moment I've been leading you toward. The words you heard were not random. The stirring in your heart was not empty. The closed doors were not the end. The hidden seasons were not forgotten. The pressure was not destruction. The small steps were not meaningless. Everything surrendered to me has been gathered into preparation. Now, lift your eyes. The old night is losing its voice. The morning is touching your path. The door before you carries my peace. Take my hand and step forward. I bless you with courage that does not boast, peace that does not break easily, wisdom that listens, love that remains tender, and faith that keeps walking when the road unfolds slowly. Go forward, my beloved child. Step into the promise I prepared for you. I am before you. I am beside you. I am within you by my Spirit, and I will complete the good work I began in your life with faithful love.